And we're live.
We are live. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Hey,
Good
Brenda.
morning. Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm great. Your mom's good with me being the favorite.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. My mom is on here and she says, "Hi, Brenda." I'm like, "Excuse me?"
Seems reasonable.
What's up with that, Mom?
Well, it's okay.
Yeah, well, guess what? I guess Sheila's not the favorite either. So that's my
Right.
sister, by the way.
It
Who
works for
also
me.
might be on here. I don't know.
I haven't seen her yet unless she's hiding
Okay.
out under a fake name. So,
It's a family affair here on Simply Simple Stamping, except for Brenda. She's sister by friendship, right?
yes. Yes. I still think our mothers were separated at birth.
This is true. If you, well, not like anyone's ever going to meet our mothers, but if you did,
so much alike.
You would swear they were sisters. So yeah, there's definitely a connection there. See, Brenda, there's a reason we're best buds.
And connected at the hip. Hey, okay, so I got to show you my mug.
Show.
Okay. And nobody would be offended by what the fluff and that it's a skeleton. Okay. I saw this and I thought of Connie's daughter, Christina, because she used to work at Build-A-Bear.
Okay.
And she loved it. At first, she absolutely loved it. By the time she was done, they had changed her schedule 1,050 times. There were times she'd be the only one there. They would underschedule for parties and she'd be stuffing bears for like 20 kids. And when I saw that, I just thought I was going to die because it's just this mad skeleton just shoving fluff in these.
Shoving fluff into the Build-A-Bears. Yep. Oh, I know. It's a shame. She really did. She loved the job. She loved, interacting with the kids and stuff. But boy, there towards the end, she was like, I am done. It wasn't.
She was like, what the fluff?
What the fluff? I like it.
Anyway, all right. Well, we should get started with that.
We are going to get started. We always like to give everyone a chance to kind of get on the live so we can start. Okay, friends, fun card lined up for you today. This is called the step panel card. I'm really excited to teach it to you, and I think my big time reason why I'm excited is it looks like it's super complicated, but it's actually very, very easy. Of course, I'm going to go over all the steps with you. And I also, let me get over to my table here. I have got somewhere, not here on my desk, of course, I've got a free download for you. I think I left it over there when I was cutting my cardstock. Brenda will put up the information with the free download, but guys, go grab that because it's going to have all the measurements for creating these stair step cards. And you're going to want to have those measurements. It's going to make your life easy. You're going to have the supply list and a link to go back to my video because you might need a little refresher on how it goes together. So be sure to grab that. And I'm sorry I didn't have it here on my live, but that's how my room is set up. Everything's way over there. All right. So this is the step panel card. Here's where you're going to write your message on the back. Yes, there is a place for the message. And I want to show you something else. These cards can be mailed. Check this out. This goes flat. Yes, I know you guys love it when the cards can go in the mail. Look at that. And can I tell you, I don't think it's going to take more than a single postage stamp. It's really not that thick. Now, if you add a lot of embellishments, it could. But I wanted you guys to know that these cards can also be mailed. But they are so fun. So here we go. I'm actually going to start and create this one for you. And then I'll show you some tips on the other one. But I'll tell you what, let's start with our cardstock. Put on your sunglasses, my friends. This is some Parakeet Party. I've got one piece here, 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Very different measurement. We don't usually use that, but 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And then I have a 3 by 5. We're going to do some scoring on that. You are going to need a piece of 6 by 6 designer series paper. All right, we're going to do some cutting on that. Let's see. It looks like I got a piece of basic white. This piece of white is a 3 3/4 by 4. All right, so 3 3/4 by 4. You got just a little bit more on it to keep it from being a square. Got 2 more pieces in rich razzleberry because it complemented my paper. That paper was from a Wash and Beauty, by the way. My rich razzleberry, let's see, I've got a 4 by 4 1/4 and a 2 by 3 1/4. The last thing we're going to do is bring in about 12 or 13 inches of ribbon. This is that gorgeous rose gold and white striped ribbon. I love anything with shimmer, shine, bling. So that's what we're going to use there. I'll tell you what, we're going to start with our scoring. So I'm going to grab my Simply Scored board. Of course, you could do this on your paper trimmer, whatever works best for you. We are going to put the 8.5 inches up here at the top. And my friends, if you'll score at 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, 3 inches, and 4 inches, okay? 1/2, 1.5, 3, and 4. Now that other piece, where did it go? Why do I always lose things on my desk? There's just too much. I'm going to put the 5 inches. This is that 3 by 5. I'm going to put the 5 inches up here at the top, and you're going to score it 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches. That is all our scoring we need to do. All right. We're now going to move on to our designer series paper because we need to do some chopping on our paper. Now, if you have a designer series paper that has a pattern, like can you see my flowers are flowing up and down? When you do this cutting, you want to make sure your pattern is sitting this way. Don't let it turn this way. Make sure your pattern is up and down because we're going to cut it so that it'll all work and my flowers are going up and down. We don't want sideways looking flowers, right? Hey, but you know, if you did, let's say you did, you know, you could put this card this way. It would work, right? So there you go. Don't stress. If you cut it incorrectly, you can still use it. All right, let's do some cutting. The first thing we're going to do, and by the way, this is all in your download. The first thing we're going to do is cut it 4 by 6. So we have a 4 by 6 and a 2 by 6. Let me set 2 by 6 right here for a minute. We're going to cut the 4 by 6. Let's cut it, and I am going to rotate it now, to 4 by 4 1/4. 4 by 4 1/4. All right, set that one off to the side. And this one we're going to cut to 1/2 inch by 4. So 1/2 inch by 4, and we want both those pieces. All right, I'm gonna set those off to the side. We have our 2 by 6. This one's easy. We're going to cut it down 2 by 5. You know, I think I'll cut this other end. I want as much of that purple. That gorgeous rich raspberry. That is the only scrap you're going to have left over from the card, from that piece of 6 by 6. You like that, don't you? All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to bring in some pieces here. Tell you what, you know what? How about we stamp? You guys cool if we stamp first? Let's go ahead and get our stamping done, and then we'll put things together. So I am using Simply Fabulous. This has always been one of my favorite stamp sets. The font, the sentiments are just incredible. We're going to start with You Are Simply Fabulous, and we're going to use one of these leafy images. Now, I want to make sure I've got this going correctly so you can see how it's going to adhere on my rich raspberry. I want to make sure that I have the 3 3/4 at the top and the 4 inches at the side. Otherwise, we're going to have a sideways project, aren't we? Let's come in with rich raspberry, and we're going to stamp our sentiment. You are simply fabulous. And stamp that right there. Beautiful. You know what? That's all the stamping on that one that I need with that color. So now we're going to bring in some Parakeet Party. If you didn't have Parakeet Party, I think you could get away with doing Granny Apple Green. I think it would be really nice and bright that way as well. I'm just going to stamp just a nice little leaf down there at the bottom again, just to kind of dress it up. And with that, I'll tell you what, you know, because I'm here, let's go ahead and adhere this to our rich raspberry. I hope that you guys are creating along with me. You know, if you're watching the replay, I know when you're live, it's a little bit harder to create along with me, but if you're watching the replay, it's easy to just stop and create and then hit unpause. I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Play. All right, let me get my bone folder. And I'm going to give all of the score lines of my parakeet party a score and or a crease. And you can kind of see it's creating this box. All right. So we just want to roll it up. All right. So that's how we're going to lay that down. Before I get too far, this is important. I want to go ahead and adhere my designer series paper. Now, remember, we cut it vertical for a reason. I want to make sure you adhere it that way as well. Now, that should be pretty easy because you notice this way it doesn't fit. So that will help you. But this is going to go here on this back panel. And again, we can kind of see how this is going to go together, right? So I'm going to take this. This was the what size was this one? Somebody help me here. This was, I got to measure things. 1 1/4. I wasn't anywhere close. We're going to adhere this. And again, if you'll just kind of put your card together, you'll kind of see where everything goes. And of course, you always know you're getting it in the right spot because it's the only paper that fits there. And you remember that little half-inch piece? That one is going to go right here. Now you're probably going, Connie, doesn't fit. I know, but you know what? It was scrap and it's what we had. And it's not really super showing anyway. So, but it does kind of fill things in. So we're going to put that one right there. Is everybody with me? I hope so. I'm going to flip this over and we can add our sentiment right here. Again, before you adhere anything down, just kind of take a look at it. Make sure things are going where you want them to. Oh, come on, adhesive. And have you guys ever made the step panel card? I'm curious if you guys have made this one. I have always loved this card. Holly James, I believe, is here. I love the card. I love how the card-based color makes the leaves pop. Right? Look at it. Pull that out. And of course, back there, it's really nice. All right. So now that we have that, we are going to, I've got to kind of get myself set up. I'll tell you what, I'm going to set this off to the side. We're going to work with these two pieces, and then we're going to kind of put things together. All right. This one is kind of interesting. So here are my folds, okay? My score lines. And here is my 2x4 piece of, or 2x5 piece of designer series paper. Again, let's make sure that pattern's going up and down. And I'm going to do something interesting here, guys. I want to take adhesive right to that first score line. I'm actually going to put it right here. And I'm going to line up the bottom. I'll tell you why this is important here in just a second. We're going to adhere that right here. You notice this isn't adhered down yet, just this part. I'm now going to hold on to that cardstock and the designer series paper, and I'm going to give it the crease. Now, I think when I do this, you can kind of start to see why I had to wait. When you fold designer series paper, for lack of a better word, it wants to shrink, you know, because we get that extra fold in there, and it's not quite touching up here at the top. I'm not worried about that. That's going to be hidden, but this is going to show. So I want you to start down here at the bottom and work your way up. Once we have that, now we can add adhesive here. I'm going to adhere the first one, fold it over, fold it over. That way I don't have any buckling of my designer series paper. It's going to lay just the way I want. And look, that one didn't want to lay down correctly anyway. So we're going to just fix that. Maybe. I think I stuck it down too good. You guys know Connie didn't follow her own rule of don't press anything down until you're sure. All right, we got it. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and give these the crease now with my bone folder. Can you see there's the other step of our card? But we are now going to adhere the box part together. I'm going to put adhesive on this strip. All right, this is that 1/2 inch. And you're going to want to make sure you get adhesive all the way down. This is not your place to skimp. And what I want to do is I'm going to fold that. Can you see? I'm just going to fold that flap down. I got to make sure I'm doing it right. Yes, I am. You're going to fold so that all you see is designer series paper, right? Give that a press. Give that a press. There we go. Now I'm sure that it's good and flat. See it stand up? It's pretty cool, right? All right, so that's how that part goes together. So remember, just put the adhesive on it. When you're seeing all the designer series paper, you can give that a little press. All right. Hey, Sheila, so glad you're here. All right, so now we're going to add this piece to this section, and we can actually put that adhesive here. Remember, we can't go too high, all right? But I'm gonna line this up. Let me bring it down to the camera. I don't know where I was going with that. Here, everybody, can you see? All right, let's try that again. All right, you're gonna line that up there at the bottom. And see, we don't have adhesive here, just on that flap. All right, everybody with me? I hope you are. Now, oh, Ramona says, love your cards, Connie. Thank you. You're so sweet. Now we're gonna put adhesive here on this flap. And remember, this is the one that I said, I don't care if that designer series paper is a little buckled. It's not gonna change anything for me. And with this one, we want to adhere that. Let's see if I can remember how I'm doing that. You know what? I gotta verify myself here. There we go. I thought something didn't seem right. We're gonna fold this flat again, just like we did with the last one. There's all my designer series paper, adhesive down. Yeah. And do you notice how I can kind of fold it back and forth? That's kind of what we want to create that fabulous stair step. Such a unique card. And that's why I said you may want to come back to the video if you need some refreshers on where you adhere these two pieces, right? Because we want to make sure we get that right. You could also jot those onto your download and have that ready. So, all right, friends, we're going to tie this piece of ribbon and we're going to tie it onto the right of the top stair step. All right, so I'm going to go right over, left, and under, and we are going to give this a pull straight up and down. This is my best trick for you when creating really nice square knots. If we pull this way, well, it kind of is like loosey goosey, right? So you're going to pull straight up and down and then kind of give it a pull, and you see how it kind of locks it together. It's one thing I love about creating square knots. Now I'm going to hold that. Now I'm going to take the tail on the right, under, or on the left, forgive me, right over left and left over right. Okay, I'm going to take what's in my right hand and I'm just going to hold it here. And I'm only going to pull what's in my left hand. And when I do, you just kind of gently give that a pull. Do you see how pretty my knot is? I'm trying to only pull what's in the left hand. So nice. All right, let me grab my scissors and we're going to trim.
Hey, Connie.
Yeah.
Your mom says you should put a candy bar in the bottom of it. It'll make it stand up better.
Actually, she has an excellent idea. And do you know what else will fit in there? 2 stacks of Hershey Nuggets. But Mom, for you, I'm going to put dark chocolate in yours because I'm not your favorite. Ha ha! Yeah, my mom and I have this argument going about the best chocolate. She's a milk chocolate girl. I'm a dark chocolate girl. So, all right, Mom, I will do that. But yeah, you could. Oh, you know what? I've got a Butterfinger sitting over there. It would stick out, but it would still be cute, wouldn't it? Okay, we are going to do a little embossing on this. So remember, this should be the last piece of cardstock that you have. And we are going to come in with some embossing tools. So I'm going to say, just saying hello. And I've got my embossing tool kit here because this thing is the bomb diggity. We love it. I'm going to take the embossing buddy and run that all over my rich raspberry cardstock. And I'm going to bring in a Versamark pad and my just saying hello. Tell you what, while I'm doing this, I'm going to heat up my heat tool because it needs a few seconds to heat up. So let me just get that going there. You're going to stamp this right here in the middle of your cardstock. Let me put this away. I hope that's not too loud while I'm trying to talk. We're going to take our white embossing powder, sprinkle that on, tap off the excess, and if you have any little stray embossing boogers, which I did you see those? You can just brush those away. Just try to avoid. You don't want to hit your sentiment there. Now I'm going to bring in my heat tool. It should be good and hot now. And guys, I am so addicted to heat embossing. It's so magical. But you're just going to hold your heat tool about, 4 inches, 5 inches. There's no right or wrong, but you don't want to get right down on top of it. We don't want to warp the paper. So do you see the magic? Look at that. Oh, I never get tired of embossing. And of course, on this darker cardstock, we needed something nice and bright. By the way, the embossing tool kit has a pair of reverse tweezers that would have been handy because the heat tool can get a little toasty. All right, but I did fine. We have that all done. Now this is important. Let this cool. This embossing powder is still a little wet, if you will. And if I go and try to die cut this right now, I could smear it. So you want to let this cool. And while it's doing that, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to take the deckled rectangles. Guys, if you don't have these, use what you have, or you could just cut this down, whatever you wanted to do. I'm going to take the second from the smallest, all right? And we are going to die cut just saying hello. Now, again, I want to make sure that's good and cool. So I have already done that. So let me get my sentiment here. And friends, I have put dimensionals on the back, but did you notice I didn't put them on this end? I only put them to here because this is going to hang off. I'm going to lay my card flat here. I want it to line up. I'm lining it up here with this score line and the side of my card. There's no right or wrong as far as that goes, but I do like it kind of hanging off. All right. So there is our card. I love the little bit of ribbon. We've got room to write our message here. It fits into that envelope, remember? So it's just like a regular A2 card, but it will, well, I'm going to say it will stand up. Oh, you know what? This is a good time for me to bring this up. I want to, if once you're all done, if it's having trouble standing up, get this score line and this score line one more time, and you should be good to go. All right. Well, okay. I promise it will stand up. But you're right, Mom. I think we just need chocolate in there, and then it would stand up just fine. But I love this. Such a fun little mantle-worthy card, and people are really amazed at how that goes together. So let's see. Okay, Holly James, I think that's you. It just says H. James. You don't care for chocolate, and neither does Bobby. Oh, you guys are breaking my heart. Well, then I hope you can find something really. You know what? Maybe what about those little drink packets? Those should be about that size. You could do something fun with those, don't you think? Okay, guys, I want to share one more tip for creating this card. So let me move this for a second. Because my other card I did with the sweetest cherries, forgive me, sweetest cherries. But do you see this, how the word sweet is off on my white and across my designer series paper? I want to show you how I did that. So the card, of course, goes together in the exact same way. But to do this one, you're going to want your Stamparatus. And you notice my cardstock is not tucked here in the corner. It's because I didn't want to get too close to where the word sweet is. So I'm going to lift this. Oh, I think I got it. Oh, I put it on there early, and I think I got it to stick. All right, so we have this buttoned up right there. Oh, Lord, I just slid it. I hope I'm okay. By the way, I have to show. How long have I had my Stamparatus? I finally broke a magnet today. They snapped together, and I broke it. I was like, no, I've gone this whole time without ever doing that. Okay, but I wanted you to see I have stamped the word sweet with my Stamparatus. So I got that one set. Now I'm going to take the sweet sorbet, and just like you kind of saw me do before, I'm going to add adhesive to it and center that up here on the back. I almost did it again. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I did it again. These magnets, they love each other, but they love each other too much. And if they snap together like that, they can break. So I'm not going to recommend that you guys do that. All right, let's ink this up, and you'll see how I'm going to get the word sweet to come right across, right onto that sweet sorbet. Now it is a little light, and that's really going to happen because we are dealing with a designer series paper. The color is going to try to shine through. Let's do it one more time. Lift carefully. There we go. You know what? I think I'm going to try one more. And of course, all I'm really needing are just the WEET in sweet. There we go. All right, so let me gently move these away and separate them. You know what? I'm not kidding. In my stamp room, these are on separate ends of the room. So, excuse me. So sorry about that. I'm going to put that there just so I don't get ink on my mat. But now you can see, and just like we did before, this wasn't adhered down. We're going to give that a fold first. And then I can add my next layer. And of course, everything else here will go together just the way we did before. Let's give that a fold. And of course, now we can add, I'm not too worried about this one. Remember, this area here is all tucked in, so it is fine. But that, friends, is how you're going to do the word sweet across the bottom. You can see I just added a couple of the cherries using the sweetest cherry and the matching punch bundle. Here's the back, sweet birthday wishes. I got room to write. I put a little cherry down there in the corner. Sweet sorbet, by the way. I used sweet sorbet on this one. I just thought it, and oh, the ribbon. The black and white gingham ribbon, probably my favorite ribbon ever. Adds that nice burst, that black and white, a little bit of a kind of a Mary Englebright feel, which I always thought this card lent itself perfectly to that. Let me go ahead and bring in my first one. Guys, a stair step card, step panel card. They're called different things. So easy and so fun to make. And again, they can be mailed. We love that. And they also are very mantle worthy because they're going to stand up and be a beautiful reminder when you send these cards to say thank you to a friend. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Aren't those fun? So remember, if you missed any of those steps, you can just come back and watch the video again. Just scroll forward to the part where I was putting it together if you need that. You've got all the measurements there in your download. You can find that download at simplysimplestamping.com, or you can just look down in the YouTube description because there's a direct link that will take you to my blog post that goes along with today's video. And that's where you can find that. Look for the blue. There's a blue button that says grab your download here. Click it. You'll be able to download that. And I know a lot of you are enjoying the downloads. You love having those. You know, it is great. I know a lot of you have put them in notebooks. And so you can just flip through. And when you need a card idea, flip through and you go that one. And you've got everything right there. Measurements and all. And if you need a refresher, there's a QR, excuse me, there's a QR code. Or you can just click on it either way, but we'll get you back to this video so you can watch. Hey, if you liked the card, would you give me a thumbs up on YouTube? I always appreciate those thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, there is a subscribe button here on YouTube. It's great. It's free. Click it. And then YouTube can let you know whenever I have a new video or when I'm about to go live. They'll send you a little notification. Ring that little bell for the notifications. I would love to see you on our next video. I'll be back on Tuesday with a new Tuesday tip. And you know what? I just realized I didn't show you the cards for next week. Should we go back? I think we're going to go back. Let's go back and I'll show you the cards we're going to create next week because these are super cool. I'm really proud. Okay. Can I have a proud moment? I came up with this idea all by myself. I don't always. A lot of times I'm inspired by other things, but I used the very best trio punch for this. And yes, I did. I created a latching card. Do you see? I used the very best trio punch, and that just latches my card closed. So I have a vertical one. I have, oh, come here, a horizontal one. And we're going to do some more embossing on that. Guys, these are just fun. And I just thought it was such a unique little way to use that punch. Oh, sure. Now you're going to be stubborn. I caught on something. Aren't they going to be great? I'm really excited to create those. So that will be March 2nd, right here on YouTube Live. I'd love to have you come back. So mark your calendars or go hit subscribe and the bell, and then YouTube will let you know whenever I'm back. That is all for me. Happy Thursday. make a card, send a card, encourage someone this week. Trust me, it's going to be the best thing you've done, because cheering someone else up with a card, there's just no other feeling like it, right? Have a great day, everybody. Love you. Bye-bye.